Hi everyone, I'm Swati from India Hikes and you're watching Trek with Swati. In today's video, we're going to talk about the weather on the Hamta Pass trek. This is something a lot of trekkers worry about. Is it going to be very rainy? Am I going to feel too cold? Is it going to snow on the trek? So I'm going to resolve all those doubts in your head in this video. To begin with, here's something very interesting. Hamta Pass is actually one of our colder treks, and this is because the entire trek is in a very narrow valley on both sides of the pass. You're actually in a valley and it's like a tunnel where there's a lot of wind blowing as well. So you tend to feel much colder on the Hamta Pass than any of our other treks, and even compared to our Uttarakhand treks, Hamta Pass is colder simply because it's further north and there is a difference in the latitude as well. So Himachal is colder than Uttarakhand, Kashmir is colder than Himachal. So as you go further up, it gets colder. But this is nothing you cannot tackle without your warm layers. I'll cover that later in the video. But if you don't know about Hamta Pass, it's a high altitude pass crossing. It's at around 14,000 feet. And either sides of the pass, the campsites on either sides, they're also at very high altitudes. So your Baluka Ghera, which is on this side of the pass, and your Shia Guru on that side of the pass, they're both at around 12,500 feet. This means both of them are alpine camps. It's above the tree line. You're surrounded by basically rocks and snow or even snow patches. So these camps are going to be a lot colder than the lower campsites. So that is something you have to keep in mind. Keeping this in mind, let's talk about the time of the year. Now, Hamta Pass is a trek that is done in between June and the end of September. I might extend that a little bit to October, but you kind of risk the first winter snow coming in October. So we'll talk about June to September. Now, June and September are usually colder months than July and August, because June is actually the end of summer and there is still a lot of snow in June. Because the valley is narrow, like I told you earlier, it accumulates and there's a lot of snow deposit over there inside the valley. So you will actually feel the winds coming off of the snow and it's usually very cold. So in June, expect it to be colder. July and August are slightly warmer because it's raining usually and the snow is all washed away, so they're slightly warmer months. September again is cold because it is kind of the onset of winter. From September onwards, the temperature starts declining almost as much as 1-2 degrees every week. So it falls down rapidly by October, and by October first week, you might see those first winter snows coming in. So keeping this in mind, let's talk about the temperatures on the trek. Now, during the day on this trek, you can expect temperatures of around 13 to 18 degrees Celsius, something like that. Nothing to worry about. It's very comfortable weather where you trek in a t-shirt, maybe one jacket on top, not more than that. In the evening, the temperatures will drop further. You can expect something between 8 and 13 degrees in the evenings. And further after that at night, the temperature will drop. It can drop to around 3-4 degrees at the lower campsites. Higher campsites where I told you the alpine camps, it can drop to around 0 or sub-zero temperatures as well in June and September. So those are the temperatures to expect throughout the year. Of course, if it's raining or if it is snowing, the temperature will be lower. If it is sunny, then be happy about it and you can trek in your t-shirt. Coming to the monsoon part of the weather, now a lot of us know Hamta Pass is done in peak monsoon season, so there are a lot of very valid worries about the rain on the trek. Especially in July and August, these are quite rainy months on the trek. So trekkers worry about, is it going to rain every day? Is it going to rain throughout the day? Am I going to be able to trek at all? So here I want to tell you a little bit of a reality check. It is a monsoon trek and it is going to rain, but it's not likely that it will rain every day of your trek. In fact, that rarely happens, and it is not likely that it rains all day. It usually rains for a few hours, maybe heavy showers in a few concentrated hours, or it could be drizzling throughout the day. It really depends on the local weather over there, what it's like on a daily basis. But one reassurance I can give you is that what you can do is wear your poncho, wear your rainwear, and you can do the trek quite comfortably without any worries. We have not had to call off any trek so far because of rain hampering the progress of the trek. So don't worry about it, just make sure you carry your rainwear, don't go to Hamta Pass without it because that is an absolute necessity on the trek. Also carry your 3 warm layers, your woolen sweater, not a very heavy one, a light sweater, a fleece jacket and a padded jacket which has some insulation to protect you from the cold winds on the trek. Having said that, the entire Hamta Pass trek is proceeding towards a rain shadow region. You know, you're trekking from Kullu to Lahaul. So Lahaul is actually proper in the rain shadow region, which is why you see that desert-like terrain on the other side. So don't worry too much about rain, it's something you can easily tackle. So that was all about the weather. If you have any doubts, drop in a comment and I'll get back to you. You could also write to me on tws@indiahikes.com. We're constantly talking about different trekking trails, tips, and we have lots of trek talk on our channel. So make sure you hit subscribe and the bell icon next to it. You could also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where we're always talking about the trekking world and bringing you news from there. So join us, we'll be right here. Thank you for watching.